so I'm in a 2016 Focus RS. I'm really excited to do this. I've been wanting to drive one of these. Sorry about that adjustment. Pretty much since they came out. Didn't think I would get my hands on one. But thankfully, Ron Howard here offered for me to drive his car today. And I'm super excited about it. So what I'm going to do, we're going to take it down some curvy roads first, just kind of feel it. So what I've heard, Ron, is they're not really that comfortable as daily drivers.
They're not soft. Even in soft, they're not soft.
Clutch is really tight. Little exhaust pop. So we're in sport mode right now, and the throttle is really touchy.
Put it in track mode and watch it.
Really?
It's worse.
Man. Oh my goodness. That's not full throttle, but the way it pulled around that corner, it felt like it was on like a pivot.
Oh, riding on rails.
That was awesome. And that was barely pushing it. So I can't imagine this thing at full tilt. And you autocross this, right?
Yep.
And how do you usually do in your class?
Class, I'm usually, depending on who's there, but it's very close to first, if not first, most of the time.
And you told me a story about a Cayman R.
Yep.
How close was he to you?
About a half a second, he beat me by.
So questions I have, you've had it for about a year now, right?
Yes.
Any issues or anything that you being an owner, how has it been?
Good. It's horrible on tires. Not real good on gas, but I didn't buy it for that.
Yeah.
This is not my economy car.
Well, that's awesome. I love the fact that you actually drive the thing.
Yeah.
It's not a garage queen or a show queen.
Yeah. We keep it looking good, and it don't drive in adverse weather much, but yeah, when it's out, it's out.
Which is awesome. That exhaust pop is great. Yeah, the suspension is very stiff. It's surprising for a factory suspension.
And it's another degree harder when you put it in track.
Wow.
It literally does not lean. Yeah, the popping thing will make you giggle every time.
It's crazy how it's just so. It's another one of those cars where you just have all the confidence in the world. Like, I felt like I was babying it around those corners. That might be the fastest I've been through there. Yeah. Oh. Well.
Yeah. It'll get you in trouble.
It will, because it just wants to keep going.
Yep. I have 5 drunk friends in the back seat saying you can do more.
Yeah, it's every gear is fun. Nobody can probably hear that on the camera. Oh man, it is bouncy.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah. It'll knock the carbonation out of your soft drink.
Yeah. I've driven the Golf R. I've ridden in the Civic Type R. And I think from a roll, the Civic feels like it accelerates a little bit harder. Well, maybe. It's tough to tell. Being up, because when you sit passenger, everything feels a little bit faster.
Yeah.
In my opinion, but man, this thing feels confident. And earlier you told me you have not stopped laughing while driving this car yet. And I believe you.
You get into sore cheeks, man.
So how's the dealership experience been for you? Like with warranty issues or anything like that?
I haven't had really to deal with much warranty. They've done a few recalls to it to update, like I said, body control, updates in the software and stuff. That's about it. I mean, it's just little tiny things. It's like they're almost like they're trying to dial it in.
Huh. And you said they call you before you even
They called me.
The updates.
Yep.
So
they're seeing the technical service bulletins come across, and they know I got an RS, so
that's
they
awesome.
give a screen.
And we're gonna okay to try launch control.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Holy crap! This is, and we just did that launch. Comparing it to my buddy, he had an Evo 9, and he had to play with it to figure out how to do a good launch with the two-step that came from the factory in them. But this, you just let go of the clutch and it does it for you.
Yep.
That's,
add gas.
That's awesome. So I want to try normal mode and just feel how the suspension feels. And the throttle. Does it dumb it down a little bit?
It softens everything.
Okay.
It retracts it back, like I call it novice mode.
Okay. I've heard so many times that these aren't a good daily because they're just not comfortable. Like that Matt Farah from the Smoking Tire, he was like this close to getting rid of his because he drove it in town so much in California.
Yeah.
And he hated it because it was so stiff, so uncomfortable when driving stick and stop and go traffic. He didn't like it. But for here where we live in the Midwest, you don't have that much of stop and go traffic issues, so driving a stick isn't a big deal. And honestly, right now in normal mode, it's still a little stiff. The seats are firm, but for a younger guy like me, I don't care. I'd be happy with this as a daily. So, thanks again for letting me drive this and giving us your input. You know, you've done a few things to it. Did a mount tune shifter, you said?
Yeah, shift plate, short torque shift plate.
Shift plate, and then
cob filter.
Cob filter.
And that's about it.
The kick plate or something?
Well, I got a spacer for the throttle plate.
Yeah, so you have it.
My pedals are flat.
Yeah. So this is basically power-wise a bone stock car.
Yes.
And doing stuff would probably really be fun.
Yeah. And,
but you don't need to.
Mount tune upgrades for this are factory oriented too. So you can get a stage 1, 2, and everything else, as long as it's put in by a ASE certified technician.
Wow.
It's covered under warranty.
That's awesome. Well, thanks again. And yeah, when you normal mode, the pops go away.
Yeah.
So do you ever drive in normal mode?
Yeah, once in a while.
I don't think I would.
When I forget to put it in sport.
So, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and check out my website, Carguments.net. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, obviously YouTube because you're on YouTube, but and Instagram. So, again, thank you, Ron, for letting me drive this, and have a good day. Alright, so I realized in the excitement of the video I didn't really have any concluding remarks of what I thought of the car. So I figured I'd take this opportunity to talk about that I really did enjoy the car. There was only one little thing I noticed about it. The power kind of tends to fade away up at the top. But overall, like comparing it to the Golf R that I've driven and I rode in a Civic Type R, I think the Focus RS is the car I would go with. It's a mix, I think, of the best of all three of the cars, because, or at least comparing the Golf R with the Civic Type R. The Civic Type R to me is a little too outrageous, especially the looks, but the Golf R is a little too dulled down, and the all-wheel drive system is a little more front-wheel drive biased. And I think the Focus RS is the perfect blend of both. It's a nice family hatchback, but it's a ton of fun at the same time. So thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for sticking through the whole video.